to another Breaking Down Brown Culture episode. Yeah, today we have a replacement for Hloni. The topic felt a bit fit to have Shumera in place, so they've swapped roles today.
Yeah.
What's up, Hloni?
I'm behind now.
Hey, Hloni.
So guys,
So he is here in spirit also. So yeah, guys, so today's topic is essentially about the expectations of a woman, right? Specifically an Indian woman. So this is a very controversial topic, and that's why we felt it fit for Shumera to be on this side of the camera, right? So, to go straight into it, I love this topic because I feel men, especially Indian men, don't do enough to better the situation, right?
Agreed.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was essentially, the expectations of being a sister, being a female in the Indian household, being a female, your female cousins, etc., etc. So basically, something that's very common is that you guys are taught differently about marriage than we are as males.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in general we've been taught very different.
Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of unspoken and spoken expectations of you as a woman. From a cultural perspective, from just being a woman in general.
Yeah. Going straight into the marriage topic.
Yeah.
Right. So something you confirm this, right? Is women are taught that you must get married at an early age. She must move out, move with her husband, and stuff like that. Is it something that still happens?
So I personally haven't experienced that type of pressure, but I think as we get older, there is this expectation of you to get married and have kids and all of those things. I think the world's also evolved now where parents want their daughters to be much more educated, and should anything happen, you be able to stand on your own 2 feet. So I think that in itself is a good thing. It's a good change, definitely a good change. I personally haven't seen the need for it to be get married young.
Yeah.
I think once you start having a boyfriend, the question does come up. I mean, how many times have we heard it? And like, when are you guys getting married? And to some extent, people do mean it. Like, when are you getting married?
Yeah.
But at least there's no more pressure from your parents to be how they were. I mean,
but I think to break that down, right? Essentially, is people should really stop with the expectation of people getting married at
definitely.
30s. When you reach your 35s, you're still not married. That expectation should definitely stop. That goes for all cultures. It's predominant in ours. That's why we can relate to it. But I mean, I've had aunts who were in their 40s, got married in their 40s.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing wrong. She's living her best life right now.
Yeah, I
so
agree with
stuff
that.
like that needs to be broken down to say that, guys, there's no need to judge it. If someone wants to get married when they're 50, let them get married. When the celebrity does it at 60, no one's complaining.
Is this prior to marriage? There is a lot of expectation of what you should be before you get married. Like, you must be able to cook, you must be able to clean, you must be able to almost run a household. If you don't know how to cook by 20, like, God forbid, that is such a big problem. Like, it's a really big problem. The first thing people want to know is, do you know how to cook? Or do you know how to clean?
Do you know how to make roti?
Do you know how to make roti? Like, those are definitely something I've experienced that because I personally have not invested much in learning how to cook because I've always been much more focused
we have options now.
On other things. I don't believe that is an essential skill for me. But I think a lot of people, if I say to them, I don't know how to cook, it's like, geez.
At that age.
How are you gonna cook for your family? Like, I'll get through it. Like every other woman.
Yeah, you cross the bridge when you get to it. There is no direct pressure right now. I mean, back then they never had options, and as time went on, the options introduced itself. I mean, we went into having takeaways all over, and we had to drive there. Now to have it on our phones.
You literally keep an app.
There we go. So there's no need for that expectation as well. That goes into cleaning, cooking and cleaning as one topic, right? And again, especially the older ones, you guys need to catch a wake up. Literally, you cannot be treating your wives, your daughters, as slaves. Is essentially what you are doing. The Indian men, in your 40s, 50s, your wives are not slaves, your daughters are not slaves. The expectations of them need to decrease, right? The world has changed drastically. You cannot expect them to be waking up and start cleaning. No. You not expect your wife to wake up and make you a coffee. She'll make you a coffee because she's that generous. It's not because she's forced to. And she should never be put in a position to be forced to do anything like that.
I think, but coming down to the point, right? Like, I understand women back in the day, cooking and cleaning because you didn't have a job, and you're at home, and it was a big what can I say, generation thing to be a mom and be homely and all of those things. But I think as we've gone along, that isn't something that's supposed to be passed into our generation, because now we have women having jobs, they have full-on careers, but they're still expected to come home
and
do the cleaning, do the cooking, raise your kids, like all this expectation. And at what point do we start saying to men, pick up the slack too? If I can have a job and you can have a job, it means that we're both equal now, and you can also pick up the slack. But I've experienced the same thing in my household, where I'm expected to clean, and if I say no, it's like, oh my word, this is a bit, she said no to clean. Like it's a real big thing, and it's a real problem. Women are not, it shouldn't be expected to do that. If you want a woman to learn how to cook, teach your sons to be the exact same way. It shouldn't be a thing of women need to be this way. And I think there's a generational thing, and it's passed down into generations where there's so much expectation on being a woman, and there's like very less expectation on being a man.
That's true. Even look at like the alcohol stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is, if a woman drinks, it's like, she's getting drunk. And it's like, the more she drinks, it's like, how can she behave like that?
How can she do that? How can she be with the men?
Yeah, why is she drinking with the men? And that's an actual thing.
So I've actually had this, I've actually experienced this conversation firsthand, where there was relatives of mine talking about a cousin that was smoking hookah around her uncle, saying, like, my family, the ladies who were talking about, they were utterly disgusted. They were like, how can she sit with the men and smoke hookah? And from my perspective, if she's hanging out with her uncle, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, if he sees no issue, why are you seeing the issue?
If he doesn't have a problem with it, then why is that a problem? If she was a boy and she sat there, that wouldn't be an issue.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It shouldn't be that issue. If I come and I sit with my family who are male, what is wrong with that? Aren't we family? Aren't we allowed to be in the same area sitting? If you enjoy a whiskey and I enjoy a whiskey, what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's publicly sold to everybody. It's not sold just for men. So I think that stigma definitely has to go from my perspective. But coming back to the whole topic, our generation of parents, from how they grew up to what it is now, it's a major difference. And it's not that easy for people to just change. But I think us as the next generation need to be the ones to put our foot down and make the change. Say no, say you disagree. Don't just follow rules, don't just follow instructions. If you don't believe in it, don't do it.
Yeah.